The Sports Ball Stuff podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Sports Ball Stuff with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the major sports stories that intrigue us and the little stories that enrage us.
Looked like a football team. All kind of problems. I don't know if Atlanta's as good as Atlanta is, but
It's wonderful.
Cam
Making Kirk Cousins look like a fool.
said it best.
Hate.
Hate.
Well, I mean, yeah. If you get a bounce back win for the Saints, there's no better team to do it against than the Falcons.
I think the best thing I've seen is the Saints can go 2-15 as long as they beat the Falcons twice.
Correct. Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
Well, bitch, but we're good because we can say, "Hey, Atlanta, go fuck yourself."
Yeah. But I mean, at least what we saw on Sunday.
Wait,
during the replay
is the opposite of Brian Kelly. You mean they were prepared?
Yeah. Or the opposite of Dennis Allen too. Like
yes.
you had, and granted, it's against a rival. I'm not saying this is gonna.
No. That's
it would be great if it would continue.
My second note is any chance this carries over.
I mean, if they can
this week, it's a good chance because we played the Browns, and then it's a bye week, and then who knows? But
and the schedule eases up a bit. Like
there are two teams we play that were probably pretty much losses.
Well, I mean, we got to do the Bucks again.
No. There was another team in there, like Green Bay or some Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, so we got Browns, Rams. If we play like we did,
that wasn't who I was counting.
Giants.
I wasn't counting them.
This year, Commanders is going to be a loss.
That's one of the ones.
Packers probably a loss.
Yep.
Raiders, we should be able to win that.
Yep.
And then Bucks to close out the year.
If we ride the wave of a new head coach and, we got to win, get a couple of wins going into the bye, get as healthy as we can, the Saints could win 8 games, or they can go 7-10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Rizzy shows. Apparently, the person who's got to be convinced now is Mickey Loomis. But shows Loomis, like, you need a motivator in as head coach, not...
That's what Sean Payton was.
Right. It's like, but Dennis Allen, and across the board...
He's arch.
I get it, is that, like, everybody held their tongues because you don't speak out against an active head coach.
I hate hockey.
No, you love it.
Yeah, no, ask me again in May.
or later on in the third period if you guys equalize. Laviolette feeling you too, but
it's early.
But yeah, that you somehow have to convince Mickey Loomis, like, as even if he, like, by some miracle wins out the rest of the year, you do not just sign Rizzy.
No,
you got to do an actual coaching search.
Yes,
you need to, as we talked about last week with Dennis Allen's front. Yeah,
Johnson. Like we've named like the 5 or 6 guys that all Saints universe, Saints Nation, pundits down, have a short list of about 5 guys, and we all can agree on those. I'm not as bullish on what's his face at Tennessee, Vrabel.
Yeah.
Not as bullish on him, only because he seemed to...
Well, and this isn't a pro-Vrabel argument, but, like, if I were, like, any one of the coordinators at the Lions, and you look at the finances of the Saints, I wouldn't take that job.
No.
But... Unless
they can do something, and I'm not talking about... I'm not talking about restructuring down the road.
Right. I'm talking clear payroll,
which is what they're doing,
and then and draft properly.
I hate to say this, but guys like Tyron and Cam and DeMario, there's a couple other who are like twilight of their career.
Well, Cam and DeMario
have already restructured thousands of times,
right? And that
they're retiring.
Yeah, exactly, and they need to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the price you pay for that. But there will not be a dry eye in that house.
But at this point, though, that's probably 1 or 2 years.
Correct. Yeah.
Like they're not going to want to hang on there's not a
not
Bowl window open.
It's not like Carr, who could maybe go six more years.
He can ride out a rebuild, or a quick reset.
Yeah.
Because there are pieces in place, but yes. So
I would say this
at this point, you look 2-3 years down the line.
Well, I would say this too, is that if from Loomis is in, I'm not saying that there's any rumor about it, but if it took Gail Benson to walk down the hall and go, get rid of this man.
Right.
And that
anybody who knows Gail Benson, like even remotely,
and she's very hands off.
Yeah, exactly. She is not trying to do
shit. But the board and her, like, okay, something's got to change. And I would say is that if in the offseason Loomis isn't able to dump some of the money and put the team in a better financial situation moving forward,
right? She should be just as worried about as anybody.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that she might make another walk down the hall and go, get the fuck out.
Right. Like bruh, we've been kicking the can now for 10 years. The last few years of Breeze's tenure hoping to win, and then the first years after, like, stop.
And say,
just stop.
You're welcome. Apparently, I bring front office problems to whatever fan base I really like.
Fucking stop. Oh, I don't have a front office that I like, except Juventus and Giorgio Chiellini.
Yeah.
Just that one individual right there.
Leeds I'm fine with right now. But yeah,
Leeds I am cool with.
But we'll get to that.
But
yeah, I don't,
close. So, ride this wave.
Yeah.
Like they rode the red wave. and see what happens. Go 500 the rest of the year, and that's a win.
Yeah. Although then that takes us out of good, but also it's not going to be a good draft class. Anymore.
Correct.
Maybe for defense and offensive line.
I'm not trying to get in the top 3 and reach for Deion Sanders' kid.
Yeah.
You can keep that shit.
Yeah.
I don't want any of them. I don't want, what's the other, Cam Ward at Miami? No. You need to do what Charlie Ward did and try to go play basketball for my Knicks.
Yeah.
I don't want you near my football team.
Yeah. If we get lucky, if we do things right, then maybe Jaden Daniels will be ending his contract with the Commanders.
I don't know, man.
In a few years.
They've been building shit around him. And
imagine that. You build an offensive line first.
What do you think? Okay. I've got a couple of minutes here. The Saints won the fucking Super Bowl because their offensive defensive line were good.
Yeah.
Full stop. They were competitive. That window. Oh, I'm not talking about 8 and 9 Drew or it was because of the offensive and defensive line.
I was going to say,
if you keep Drew Brees up,
you're going to have a couple of Hall of Famers from that line eventually.
Yes.
And definitely from that defensive line. But
yes. Like, Tom Brady's same thing.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning. Like, if you can keep the good quarterbacks
I say, like,
in the pocket.
Titans in the McNair heyday, I think 3 of those offensive linemen are in the
and it
Campbell,
works out even better if you have an arm like one of those guys and make good decisions but can move around a little bit. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels at this point, your boy in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Fuck you. I would have had that.
I would have fucking lost my mind. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
These guys.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Russell Wilson is fucking turning back the clock in Pittsburgh too. But those guys, if you're not named Tua because your brain's mush, yes, like that's it. There's a direct correlation between good quarterback play and winning,
and a good offensive line,
and a good offensive right. Exactly. You're not going to have a C-rated offensive line, even if you have a good quarterback. It ain't happening. No.
Well, I mean, as
unless
you pointed
you're
out,
Kansas City and like the universe wants you to win.
Well, that's how you can take a 3rd round QB out of Michigan, who only had 1 year starting. And
was it a full year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like his senior year.
Okay.
But you can take that kid and then put him and then win what? 6 Super Bowls.
Yep. Keep him upright. He's smart. He's
right.
good.
Yeah.
Done. Peyton Manning. His kryptonite was his offensive line, and he had some fucking solid guys. Jeff Saturday is one.
Yeah. No,
Plus, he has the greatest punter, not named Thomas Morstead, that's ever played for him, Pat McAfee. Love you, guy. Please give me some fucking love to your billions and billions of listeners.
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
God, yeah.
Or Ganesh, Buddha, and Muhammad. It's whatever. I don't know. I'm optimistic. Like, seeing him getting riled up and, like, having conversations on if he blew out his hamstrings or broke his back, celebrating, like, cool.
Yeah.
If I see him dancing in the locker room like Sean Payton was doing,
yeah,
cool. Like, Sean Payton had 2 offensive coordinators, and he was a savant on the offense, too.
Yeah, no.
Rizzy is...
special teams.
Yeah, and he still loves that special teams. And look at special teams showed out.
Correct, yeah.
And, you know, the announcer, Greg Olson.
Yeah.
Because he, again, I hated you when you played, but you're amazing.
God, he's good, though.
He made a point that as a special teams coach, you work with everybody.
Correct, yeah.
It's like the strength and conditioning coach or the nutritionist. Like, you're working with everybody.
Yeah.
So you're not a defensive backs coach where you're working with 6-8 guys. Like,
correct, yeah.
He worked with
everybody. At some point you've touched on
every single person
yeah.
not named Derek Carr on the roster.
Correct, yeah.
And I mean, look what he turned Taysom Hill into.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like that anyway, but whatever. Because Jesus and all. Robert Smith or whatever your name is. John Smith.
Magic underwear. Yeah. But
okay, she should have been wearing a Cure shirt.
Ooh, yeah.
Like underneath her sister's robe.
Sure, yeah.
Sorry. I'm okay. Rest of the NFL, here we go. The Commanders might be for real.
Yeah.
We watched Detroit. Were you at the house when we watched Detroit come back?
Yeah.
Detroit might be for real. They're finding ways to win. They give off that super 08, 09-ish Saints team.
Yeah. Or I mean, and that, or back when the Lions were good, but you knew they were going to fuck it up. But
that's what I'm saying.
Now it's like, no, like they've got, like,
I think them shitting the bed
they got
NFC
enough
championship last year.
They got enough house money.
Correct.
Like, well, and that also, it's, I mean, you know, as a Saints fan, it's the benefit of having a desperate fan base. Like, at this point, like, they're showing good signs. So, like, nobody, like, that fan base, I mean, they're going to be critical, but they're also not going to go, like, fuck these dudes. You know?
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. And then when the Super Bowl came, it was just like lagniappe. Like, just, I can't believe this happened. Fuck Kansas City.
True.
And fuck everything they stand for as a football team. I hate them. Dallas, fantastic job. Keep up that shit show. I love it.
Cleveland, keep enjoying.
Cleveland, do your thing. You're not a good football team, but Jameis is the, quote, master.
Correct. Best exit interviews of all time.
Oh, God. Could you imagine HR interviewing him? What was the other one I was going to give a shout out to? God damn it. Pittsburgh Steelers? Okay, I'm all right with you. Kind of.
Yeah.
Who was the other one?
Although they'll still probably shit on Mike Tomlin again this year.
Of course. He's going to have a winning record, go to the playoffs, and be like, we need to fire this guy. Trump 2024. The Eagles might have just figured it out.
The following segment has been brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Sports Ball Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.